Welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, we'd like to discuss Cardano. Why I would like to do so is because I am personally a huge fan of Cardano, and as well I would like to tell you guys, I'm very sorry that I haven't been uploading recently. I was a little bit ill for a couple of days, therefore I wasn't able to upload. So let's take a look at Cardano. What I can clearly see over here on Cardano is something I think is absolutely important. So if we take a look, right now I opened up the daily chart, and what you can clearly see is the 200-day moving average. So I already took the 200-day moving average, and what I think is absolutely important right now is that we are seeing something quite similar as we saw previously. We saw this major spike in price action. Afterwards, we have seen this, well, downward accumulation, or you might call it as well a descending consolidation, and I think something we are seeing right now is actually looking exactly the same. We have seen this major spike, afterwards we saw this descending consolidation, and right now we are for sure accumulating in between these ranges. We are accumulating towards the downside, and therefore I think Cardano is going to be absolutely bullish, because the very last time we did actually see a retest of the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, and we went a little bit below it. We did see a major spike in price action afterwards on Cardano, and personally I think something like this is actually possible. But I would like to discuss during this video what are the key and most important levels that we have to take into consideration during the upcoming days. Therefore I opened up this chart. What I couldn't let you see is the 200-day moving average. I'm not sure why it wasn't loading, but I showed you the 200-day moving average previously, and I really hope you can please take that into account. So what I would like to discuss for sure right now is during the last video I would discuss this major move towards the upside. Well, yeah, we did see a breakdown. Well, the breakdown target outside of this broadening ascending wedge has been reached, because this was our breakdown target at approximately $1.90. We have already breakdown even further below it, and we are right now trading at approximately $1.82. So clearly, the very last time that we were at this range, we did see major continuation towards the upside, all the way towards the 0.32 Fibonacci at $2.30, and at even a little bit higher. But what I must admit is, for the viewers that haven't seen my channel yet, this gray area or white area down below us is a major level of support and a major stronghold for Cardano. And what I think is absolutely important during the upcoming days is that we have to stay on top of this range. Otherwise, we could expect a major trend reversal taking place and seeing even more downward momentum during the upcoming weeks. So this is absolutely something you would like to take into consideration during the upcoming days, that we have to stay on top or inside of the white box. So what you can clearly see is that we have seen major levels of resistance underneath the $1.76 range. Afterwards, we did see as well a minor support being found on top of this range, and we saw a lot of resistance underneath the $1.56 range. So this is for sure telling me that this is a major level of support and resistance in between these two ranges. And what I personally think is that if we hold strong on top of this level, my personal opinion is that we are actually going to see a major trend reversal getting created, and of course we're going to see more movement towards the upside on Cardano. And I personally think that that is actually something absolutely likely to occur. So what are the things that we have to consider right now? So if we take a look at the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame, yes, it has been serving right now as a level of resistance. It will be serving as a level of resistance above us for the upcoming days. And what I think is absolutely important is this: once we retest this range, we would like to see a trend reversal getting created, finding support on top of the 0.618 level at $81, and afterwards heading further up towards the upside, perhaps even seeing a retest of the EMA ribbon once more and being able to break out above it on the daily time frame. So taking a look at the daily time frame, what I would like to discuss as well is this descending resistance. Why I'm not counting this major spike towards the upside is because I think this was just a fake out. We did actually see major increase at this point in time. We went all the way towards the $2.36, and afterwards we saw a major decline in price action. So this is absolutely a fake out. Therefore, I'm still counting this as a descending level of resistance. And what you can clearly see is that we have to break out above this range and see clearly a trend reversal getting created, and not as we saw previously, because previously we did see clearly a fake out above this range, and afterwards we saw immediately that we were rejected at $2.36 and we went straight back down on Cardano. So this is something you would like to monitor closely. We would like to get on top of this range and see further continuation towards the upside, but currently if we enable the MACD, what you can clearly see is that on the MACD we are actually experiencing momentum towards the downside on the daily time frame. So that is something I think is absolutely important, because if we take a look at the MACD on the daily time frame, what you would like to see is actually movement towards the upside. I think this is actually looking good due to the fact that if we right now see a stronghold getting created on top of this range and afterwards a crossover occur on the MACD, it will be very likely that we are going to see further continuation towards the upside and being able to perhaps break out above this descending resistance that I've talked about previously. As well, if we take a look at the RSI, this is also the reason why I personally think that we are actually going to be able to hold strong on top of this range. Of course, not just because of this, what we are seeing on the RSI, but for sure, mostly because of the previous data that is showing us that we have been trading for quite a long time in between these two ranges, and therefore it is a major level of support and we do not want to break out underneath it. Clearly, what we are seeing right now is something I think is absolutely important. We are seeing a slightly higher low on the RSI and a lower low on the chart. Therefore, we are right now on the daily time frame experiencing a bullish divergence, and I personally think that this is absolutely marvelous due to the fact that this is absolutely helping us right now to stay on top of the 0.618 range. And as well, if we see a minor breakdown below the 0.618 range, we will for sure be held strong on top of the $1.76, what I personally think is very likely to occur, perhaps accumulating for a while in between these two ranges, afterwards seeing a spike towards the upside, creating a trend reversal and seeing exponential growth, because that is exactly what I personally think will occur on Cardano, especially because I showed you previously that on the 200-day moving average, we are seeing something we have seen previously, and that is absolutely showing us that it is very likely that we are going to see a trend reversal getting created right now on Cardano. If we go towards the 4-hourly time frame, right over here, what I think is absolutely good to know is that we are breaking down below the dotted line on the RSI. Therefore, it is very likely that we are actually going to see a increase or a stronghold being found on top of these ranges. That is for sure something I think is very important. We have seen previously, once we break down below the dotted line on the RSI, it is very likely that we are going to see an increase in the RSI afterwards, and that is exactly what we saw at this point in time. And we saw afterwards, of course, a major increase heading towards that fake out at $2.36. For sure, that is something I would like to see right now. I would like to see once more breaking down below and seeing a further increase afterwards, holding strong on top of this range and seeing Cardano actually creating that trend reversal that I've been talking about for quite a long time. And I'm actually very bullish on Cardano still, because I am a true believer that we are going to see a major 120% growth on Cardano for sure. Right now we are still inside of this downward trend. Yes, that is 100% true, but what I personally think is that we for sure will be able to hold strong on top of this $1.76 range, and that we are actually going to be able to create that trend reversal over here, especially because we are also seeing on the 200-day moving average something we have seen previously, that is that we are breaking down below it just for a small tad, and that what I think is very likely is that we are going to break down above it once more on the daily time frame, see exponential growth, breaking out above this descending resistance and continuing with the uptrend towards the upside. If we take a look at the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that it has been serving as a level of resistance right now. It still does, and it is very important that we would like to see a breakout above this range. Lastly, I would like to discuss the very important 200-day moving average on this chart, and as well the TMA. Those are the triple moving averages. What you can clearly see is that we are right now seeing all three moving averages as levels of resistance above us, and once more the thin red line is the 200-day moving average is aligned with this descending resistance. Therefore, once again, this descending resistance is not just a level of descending resistance, but it's once again as well the 200-day moving average. Therefore, this is a major level of resistance that we would like to break out above and support on top. and see a major move towards the upside afterwards. So those are absolutely very important things you would like to monitor very closely during the upcoming days. Lastly, I would like to discuss the MACD on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 4-hourly time frame, what you can clearly see that we are losing a little bit of momentum strength. A crossover is perhaps inevitable during the upcoming hours. Therefore, you would like to monitor the MACD very closely, and I personally think it is actually quite likely that we are actually going to see a trend reversal on the MACD getting created on the 4-hourly time frame, because we have seen as well the bullish divergence on the daily time frame that is actually holding us strong on top of the 0.618 range, and that is something I think is absolutely important. So lastly, just to recap what the most important things are about this video is that you would like to see Cardano be able to find support on top of the white box, perhaps seeing a minor breakdown inside of the white box, but we would like to see Cardano for sure staying inside of the white box down below us. Otherwise, it might be quite devastating for the overall trend. And for the upcoming days, we would like for sure to see Cardano perhaps next week breaking out above this descending resistance and seeing a major trend reversal getting created afterwards, what I personally think will for sure occur, but you just have to wait a little bit longer. If you are enjoying this content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below. I really hope you like the content so far, and I really hope to see you as well on the next one. So bye bye and have a nice day.